What's up everyone? In today's video I'm going to focus on the iPhone 13 Pro, 13 and the 12 Pro. It's not a massive difference as much as the consumers might think it is. For the tech nerds, yes, there's going to be a massive difference. Well, I want to say for the most part, I said just small things that are massive are going to make a difference for some, and some people won't notice a difference at all. Let's get to it. So I'm just going to highlight one big thing that people have not talked about as often as I feel they should have on all these YouTube videos with all this iPhone 13 hype, is going over why Apple is discontinuing the iPhone 12 Pro. Now, for some of you that don't understand why they're discontinuing their Pro model, it's very simple. They essentially put all the 12 Pro model bits inside the 13 at a fraction of the price. You're gonna save a couple $100. So that being said, I'm gonna get to GSM Arena. Everything that I'm getting from is GSM Arena and the Apple website with their technical specifications. Now, just before I get to the specs, I want to highlight something that me and my coworkers predicted. Is we thought that they were going to put the flagship model internals from the previous year into the regular model the following year. So sure enough, that's exactly what they did. With the iPhone 13 model, they ended up pretty much giving it all the iPhone 12 Pro internals with the iPhone 12 Pro Max internal with the sensor shift camera. That's pretty much it. Now, if I read off the GSM Arena, I just want you guys to see this on the actual screen. So here we go, iPhone 12 Pro on the right, iPhone 13 in the middle, and iPhone 13 Pro on the first one on the left side. So main difference is, of course, obviously the upgraded A15 Bionic chip, massive difference. The 12 Pro has 6 gigs of RAM, and the iPhone 13, not the 13 Pro, but the 13 has 6 gigs of RAM as well. So not a big difference, right? Almost the same exact thing. The only difference is that the iPhone 12 Pro Max from the previous year was the only model that had the sensor shift technology on there, which the 13 base model has now. So now that the iPhone 13 model has that, of course that's going to be a big freaking upgrade. Ultra wide, we're not going to focus on telephoto on the 12 Pro, which is an ultra wide. 12 megapixels with an f2.4 aperture. iPhone 13 f2.4 aperture, pretty much the same thing. You're essentially getting an iPhone 12 Pro with iPhone 13 upgrades. You're gonna get the sensor shift, you're gonna get the 6 gigs of RAM, same as the 12 Pro, you're gonna get the 128GB base model memory, which is the same as the 12 Pro, and the best highlighted difference that I can say, in my opinion, is you're gonna get a better battery life, which was way overdue. This should have been the battery that it had last year. I think a lot of the manufacturers for cell phone companies made a mistake in not really taking into account how much battery drain 5G devices get and how bad they are. So luckily luckily now that they upgraded this is the battery that it should have had the previous year, or the battery life they should have last year. Some people, what they did to prolong their battery life is just turn off 5G and use 4G LTE. Now, do you want to pay $1,000 for a 12 Pro, or do you want to pay $800 for an iPhone 13 base model that has the 12 Pro Max internals in a 13 model where you're saving a couple $100? Obviously, it's a no-brainer. Get the iPhone 13. Now, let's get to the iPhone 13 Pro versus iPhone 13 now. Now, if you want a real upgrade when it comes to, let's say a significant upgrade when it comes to what's different, it's going to be camera quality. Obviously, you guys saw in the Apple event, they extremely highlighted the cinematography, the photography, the video, everything, right? How the software upgraded to the focus shift, meaning from one subject to another when the other person turned away or anything like that. So that's really a big upgrade. Now, to highlight the big differences from the 13 and the 13 Pro are only going to be the RAM and the cameras, in my opinion, as far as the 13 and 13 Pro goes. Things might change later on, but so far from what we know and what I'm getting from GSM Arena, the iPhone 13 is going to get 2 additional gigs of RAM, so 8 gigs of RAM now versus the 6 gigs from the previous year from the 12 Pro model, which the 13 now has. And you're also going to get a massive upgrade to the camera. The main difference is the iPhone 13 is going to have a 1.6 aperture versus the new iPhone 13 Pro has the 1.5. That's an upgrade. I'm not going to go into the telephoto much, but in long story short, it's going from 2.0 optical zoom all the way up to 3 optical zoom based on the GSM Arena. But when I go to the ultra wide is getting a massive upgrade. It's going to go to 2.4 aperture all the way to 1.8. That's a big difference for ultra wide. That's one of the things ultra wide lacked last year, was just having dim lighting, which sucks because you either need to have an external light like I have now, or you're gonna have to just turn up the ISO if you're using a third-party camera app. But long story short, massive upgrade right there. And like I said, battery life. So if you want something that has a significant upgrade, definitely go for the iPhone 13 Pro. Based on the GPU, it's saying that the 13 Pro has 5 GPU core graphics versus the 4 core graphics from the previous 12 Pro and the 13, which 13 is pretty much like the 12 Pro like I mentioned before. It looks like that's the main difference. So as far as CPU goes, CPU is the same. You're just getting 4 core graphics, or Apple GPU 4 core graphics on the 13 versus the 5 core graphics on the actual 13 Pro. So if you're wondering what phone you should get, in my opinion, if you have the money, get the 13 Pro, 13 Pro Max, you're fine. 13 Pro Max, you're only gonna get a much better battery life in my opinion. As we move forward, we might get more detailed specs from the website, but so far it's good. Those are the key difference. Hopefully this video made some type of a difference for you. Hopefully this video helped you make your buying decision. In my opinion, if you're the everyday consumer, if you have an 11 Pro and you're totally fine with it, keep it. If you want a significant upgrade in camera quality and you want to save some money, get the 13. The iPhone 13 is essentially the 12 Pro Max internals. Literally, in my opinion, it's the same thing. The only difference, you're gonna get a better battery life with a slightly bigger battery and a slightly updated processor, so it will probably manage it better. But that's it. Otherwise, you should just get the 13 Pro. It'll probably last you 2 to 3 years, easy. At this point, we're getting to a level where they can't go that crazier into the technology other than software. And as obviously you guys saw in the Apple event, the software is making a massive difference when it comes to the videography and photography side. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button. It helps me get up in the YouTube algorithm. If you guys want me to make more videos, cell phone related or technology related, please leave them in the comments below. Tell me what you guys would like me to make a video of. Again, I'm in the cell phone industry, so I can talk about cell phones a lot, and we'll see what the new differences come up in the future. So thank you guys for watching. Peace.